It's not perfect, but it seems Daniel knows how to get himself to the external universe. At least part of himself.
Volatile ions travel. My father was not only known as the Maradon of Tribe 6, but the effective use of that technique also.
I think I get it now. Daniel couldn't get to the external universe due to the lack of volatile power he has. Ultimas is known to use volatile power stored deep within the body. When someone goes Ultimas, the aura looks as if two powers are circulating them. In this case, Daniel's orangish-reddish vine is the stored power helping him reach to the external universe. Daniel was raised by a small human civilization in a designated region in the Milky Way. Humans have one of the highest rates in achieving Ultimas. An Aryan raised around pure humans is an almost guarantee for Ultimas. Aryans already naturally have the strength to properly wield the power, so the only thing that would be missing is the pure heart. And Daniel has both. Strength from the strongest Aryan in the entire universe. And a pure heart from not only his mother, but the strongest human in the entire universe. When Daniel develops even further, he'll become something of prophet. Something of legend. He'll be known as the first ever Ultimas and Aryan hybrid.
What's on your mind? Ever since we've pursued this mission you've been down.
I don't have to tell you every single thing that's on my mind.
He seems to always be on your mind, which indicates you seek approval from him.
I don't seek anyone's approval. I'm doing all this for the sake of my galaxy. That disgrace of a being is the last thing on my mind. Don't ever bring him up again.
Is that so? It just adds up to me. I know you mean well, but I don't think it's a coincidence that you chose the Milky Way galaxy to be the first ones we annihilate. Out of all the galaxies that have a bad reputation and full of cruelty, you choose the Milky Way. You sure this isn't to get his attention?
Razak, use your brain. The Milky Way and the Andromeda Galaxy are going to merge in approximately 94 years. Getting our galaxy to salvation first is the ultimate priority. Everyone in the Andromeda Galaxy are sheep or are too civil to do what the fleet is doing. Someone has to step up and save us from poverty. This has nothing to do with him or getting his attention. I'm done with this conversation.
I don't believe you. Before we even planned this entire thing, you did nothing but rant about him for years and years. V, I'm here for you and I'll always support you. Nothing will change if you tell me how you truly feel. You are scarred by him, and you want revenge. Tell the truth. We all feel this pain residing within us. You're angry, and this is your way of letting it out and showing him your true worth.
Stop talking about him. I'm not in the mood. Is this what you came here for? To make me angry? You're supposed to build me up and be my close companion, not break me down and antagonize me. If you continue this behavior, I'm leaving you home next time. What am I thinking? This trip is only business. As a matter of fact, this entire mission is business. You're staying home for the entirety of it. Don't bother talking to me for the rest of the way back.
V, I'm sorry.
This is a really bad mismatch. Daniel is only 5'8". Brewlin stands tall at 6'4" with nothing but rock-hard muscle. So realistically Brewlin should be pummeling Daniel. But Ultimas fills the body with stored divinal power. And Daniel is simply overpowering Brewlin. So their size difference doesn't mean a thing in this situation.
So this full power Ultimas form is able to overpower someone almost twice as big as him. Imagine if I would have felt the power of this full power form back on that puny planet. I would have died. He vaporized the rocks with ease. Can Murdo really beat anyone with this form?
Who knows for sure? I mean, it's not too far-fetched. Daniel has the freak genetics of Verdov. If he harness this power and learns to use it to the best of its abilities, Daniel will give almost anyone a hard time when trying to beat him. The real question is, how long can he keep this form going? Ultimas overwhelms the body with massive stored divinal power. Too much of anything is bad. And I can only imagine what his body is going through trying to maintain this form.
It took me 3 years to get enough divinal power to do that technique. Does this Ultimas transformation really provide that much power?
V, if you're so worried about your cannon that power, won't you just put him inside the Tesseract and leave him there until we complete our mission?
The Tesseract will prove to be ineffective. It seems that power only comes in dire situations. So if he were to transform inside the Tesseract, his overwhelming aura will only disrupt my divinal flow, which will entirely dismiss the Tesseract. Great power comes with great cost. Although the Tesseract seems like an unbeatable weapon, it has major flaws which can be exploited if my opponent is perceptive enough.
The basic law of divinal power. The stronger the technique, the more flaws or the greater cost it has. Otherwise there would be completely unstoppable beings in this universe. The balance of power is almost as if it was meant to be. Or an actual person, or should I say a god purposely imprinted this law in divinal power to balance out every being in the universe. Fascinating biology.
Our best bet is to stay away from him and Tribe 6 as much as possible. We ignore them every way we go. Every planet we stop to, we're in and out. Worst case scenario, we run into a certain being I will not speak of. He's somewhere doing work in the Triangulum Galaxy. More reason as to why we just can't wait. The universe is better off without them. I say we start now. As soon as we find a good arc reactor, we're going straight to the Noid and advancing. No more procrastinating. It's now or never.
The specs of this planet's arc reactor is 89 billion joules, 4 million V vitality, progressively going up at about 65 million amps. The protons have a very unusual status. The subatomic particles seem to be mass in some areas of the circuit, and very dense in other areas. Nonetheless, this arc reactor still won't be enough to power the Noid Cannon at full capacity.
Well, what are we gonna do now?
Well, we keep looking until we can find one.
There's an easier way to do this. Instead of spending the next few months looking for a competent reactor, just have Bajin collect multiple of them, and we could combine them to make one extraordinarily powerful arc reactor.
Well, none of us are engineers, so how will it work? The solar enforcement will be onto us before we threaten a random engineer with their lives. That's gonna cost us time and the reactors we've traveled so far to obtain. By then, your kin and the one who we shall not name will be on our asses also.
I may know a few people who can help us out back at Andromeda. Planet Karada's Max 5. When we get there, let me do all the talking. You guys just sit back and look pretty.